because we can all talk about it. So I'm growing in a place for me to even be able to meet a man like Ice Cube and shake his hand and say, I want to welcome you and I want you to welcome me so we can work on this together so we can welcome others. So my hats off to Ice Cube.
Yeah, now someone else that you work with that came in the same vein of Ice Cube, Tupac. Are you surprised that, he is who he is now? Because you met him at a very young point in his career. Are you surprised, that he is revered like he is now?
Yeah, because I wasn't a fan of his then like I am now. I don't think that I listen to his music the same way that I listen to it now that I listen to it then. Back then it was more about just the beat and the rhythm, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the swag he had, you know what I mean? I didn't know he was so prolific with his words and so above and beyond his time, you know what I mean? Where he was talking about the things he was talking about because, coming from the hood, being gangster, being all of that can be looked upon like, oh, you don't know too much. And your drive come from a whole total different place than ours come from. You can't relate all of that. But we still need a voice of reason, whether it's in the street, whether it's in the Capitol, or whether it's in your backyard. We still need those people. So I think he would have really been a good revolutionary person that would have been able to ride with the T.I.'s and what's T.I.'s guy named that's in Atlanta? Killer Mike.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I believe they could have helped Reverend Al Sharpton. You know what I mean? Because we need the old school to merge with the new school. You know what I mean? We got people's ears like your show. You know what I mean? You giving me a platform to be able to have and allow people to listen to me. I got to take that. And we can shoot the breeze and talk that shit all we want to, but when it really gets, serious,
mm-hmm.
You got to be able to rise to the occasion and be able to say, I know what I'm talking about, but when I don't know what I'm talking about, then I need to be educated, and I'm great at that. I do it all the time. In the middle of my show, I'm like, what does that word mean? I ain't never heard that word before. What does that phrase mean? What are you talking about? Period. You know what I'm saying? I need to say that because guess what? It may be some other folks out there that's thinking the same damn thing. Like when I tell you, when I first got my tax bill, I used to see on there fire department and the public park, and I used to go, "What I'm paying taxes for that for? I ain't never had no fire. Mm-hmm. What I got to do this for?" I had no idea where the tax money was going.
Right.
All I get pays to our streets. It pays for the police officers. I had no idea that when you look at the list, then you can say to yourself, well, yeah, okay, I get it. This is why I got to pay taxes. You understand more then. But when you don't know, you're not educating yourself, or you don't even know how to ask those questions because you don't know to ask them at all, then that means you're left in the dark and you are left at a disadvantage. You need an older sister. You need a therapist. You need a mentor. You need a sister. You need an auntie. You need a diva. You need a homie to be able to have conversation in front of you, period, so you can hear some stuff by way of being able to say, oh, I was afraid to ask that question, but I didn't have to because I overheard it.
Yeah.
With some sense sometimes. You know what I mean? We all got different sides to ourselves, but when I have a platform to be able, that's a real strong platform for me to be able to share and shed some light on some educational things, then I do just that. No different than what you guys do, and allow us to be able to do so, and you guys talk and monitor what people are saying through your show.
Yeah. So you talked about loyalty, and so let me take you back because we had Faizon Love on the platform a couple of times. Shout out to Faizon Love, and he always saying something crazy on our platform. Well, he said something about Davies and MC8, and that propelled MC8 to say something back to him, and then Faizon Love brings up the name Nate Hill, and then that goes down a whole rabbit hole as well. To make a long story short, a lot of people were pointed out as informants and snitches and this, that, and the third, but the only name that really wasn't was Lisa Raye. She stood.
Wait, hold it. Rewind. I had blanked out for a minute. Go back. What you say?
So Nate Hill changes the story of Chicago Kingpin. I think you worked with him on the movie Reasons.
Yep, because that's where MC8. I met MC8.
Right. So we were having discussions with Faizon Love, and he brought up MC8 in conversation with Dave East. MC8 responds, and then Faizon responds by bringing up the name Nate Hill, which then propels a lot of people to talk about his book, Story of a Chicago Kingpin, where your name is brought up among numerous other names. The only name that was really in there that stood 10 toes down was yours. that you stay loyal, that you stay down for everything, that nothing was really given out of you. You seem surprised even hearing this. Do you know anything or recollect anything about that?
No, I didn't know he had no book. I didn't know that he was in or out. I heard, you know, of course, when I did that independent film in Chicago, that was the reason why I'm in Hollywood today, because it was directed by Spike Lee's executive producer, Monty Ross. And that's where I got my start. I auditioned for the secretary role and walked out with the lead. So that role, that project allowed me to really hone a craft that allowed me to go to California. I need to say thank you to Nate, because I haven't seen him since Chicago. And now you're telling me that, you know, I stayed 10 toes down and he has recognized that. So that's really another, you know, thank you to him. I ain't seen MC8. Lord, you need to call me and say congratulations to me. Look, I made it, you know. But, you know, I always got to respect home, you know, and I'm always going to respect the street life, you know, because sometimes you're not in it, you can be up, and vice versa. You know what I mean? And I always tell people, I may be ghetto fabulous. I ain't never been to the ghetto. I rode past the ghetto, but I got a little bit of that in me. You know what I mean? But we do in Chicago, we stay loyal, we stay down. And I appreciate everybody that went through the game, went through the hustle, went through the shits, because I'm with the shits. You know what I mean? I'm with whatever that how we need to grow, and however your journey gets you there, I'm with it. Long as you ain't, you know, hurting, you healthy, and you ain't, you know, struggling. Well, not struggling, but you ain't suffering. You know what I mean? And he did his bit. He did what he had to do. He out, and he's doing I don't even know what he's doing now. You know what I mean? But for the fact for his name to be brought up, I don't even know in what vein. Was it a good thing or a bad thing?
What's that? Nate Hills?
The Nate was brought up.
It was a lot of messy stuff involved. It was people going back and forth, and somebody said you snitched on Nate Hill, not you in particular, but the person you snitched on Nate Hill, and that just kind of got people to start reading the book and start going to the infamous page 409, where he talks about how this person snitched on him and how Lisa Raye was talked to and didn't say a word, stayed 10 toes down. So that was going around the internet pretty heavy.
Well, maybe I need to get that book so I can read that and get an insert. I heard I was in Bobby Brown's book too. I was like, what? What? You know what I mean? But I mean, you know, we play many games to stay relevant. You know what I mean? And really, there's a lot of truths that just, you know, seep through the cracks and people that never knew about. You know what I mean? But I think that that's just part of your history and part of where you came from, make you who you are.
Indeed.
Now, criticism. How do you deal so well with criticism? Because I remember, I don't know if it was earlier, you know, for the past year, the Nicki Minaj situation. I think you made a comparison between her and Little Kim, and then, you know, her fans, what they call them barbs, was throwing a lot of criticism your way. So how do you handle it so well?
I don't give a shit about that at all.